second by Councilwoman Talamontes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passed unanimously. We're now back in open session. Moving on to item 8A. Council, what's your pleasure?
I move we take no action.
Okay, there's a motion to take no action on item 8A. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Hernandez. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. Moving on now to item 11, staff reports, February 2022 staff reports. Council, looking these over, you've had these since Friday. We've had a chance to look at them. Do you have any questions for our Public Works Director, for our Police Chief, for our City Manager, or our City Secretary? Good reports, guys. I do appreciate these. They are informative. Council, do you have any specific reports?
Just a survey.
Request. Okay, we're gonna get to that, I think.
I can go to the general announcements, if that's okay.
We'll hit that in the general announcements. Also, I want to call your attention to the bills we paid. Is there any questions on that? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item, which will be item 13, general announcements. City Manager, you have the floor.
Yes, I'll try to be as brief as possible. Under general announcements, a couple of things I mentioned, and I'll get to this. We are working on some things, of course, as the council knows, or if you haven't seen already, they're starting to do the surveying work out there on the design for the water line. I think I mentioned that to some of you. So that's going in. The other thing that I wanted to mention that we've been working on for quite some time is the master drainage study. That master drainage study, I hope to have to you in the next couple of months. The importance of that is the state legislature is requiring this region, all regions, the whole entire region, entire state of Texas, to have a drainage plan. And so part of that is there's going to be funding for drainage projects. And right now, we actually had a meeting in Patuca today. The Texas Water Development Board, through the Nueces River Authority, is gathering information for drainage for all these areas, all these counties. Our hope and what our goal is to have our drainage plan complete to qualify. If you don't have your plan complete or anything documented with the state as part of this plan, you will not qualify for any funding, any grant funding, or any loan, zero interest loan. This is what we're assuming they're going to try to do. As some of you also know, there's infrastructure money that's coming, has come. Believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Texas Water Development Board is a funding agency for infrastructure projects. I believe the Texas Water Development Board has received of that infrastructure funding, they received $88 billion. Of that, the significance for us is hopefully qualifying for some of this money. So trying to get projects ready and going, and so I think we're in pretty good shape. The other part that I wanted to mention to you was what we're working on here, which is a comprehensive plan. I know we've talked about the comprehensive plan, what does it mean, why are we doing what we're doing. Part of what I wanted to point out to you, this is some information we've received. Can you pull up the screen, Crystal, those maps, the maps that I showed you? There's some maps that are, they're under, I think they're under, I'll let you see kind of what, right now, this is what we're talking about is just strictly traffic type stuff, okay? These are this is one of the maps that's come up that right now GrantWorks has worked on. They sent this to me. We presented this to TxDOT. Part of what TxDOT was here this past week, and they're also seeking information. We invited all the entities. I believe the school district, the hospital had people. I don't know if the school district had, but I think they did. The hospital was there. But part of what we're asking for as part of this is funding dollars for projects we've talked about regarding transportation. I know the schools we talked about projects for some coming in business 35. I know there's been accidents there at the high school. There's been some attempts to try to get some funding. This is all going to help us kind of tell our story. And I did speak to TxDOT staff. They were here to ask for input. There's other ideas, and we do want to make sure that we get this information. But I do want I'd like the council's input. What you see here also is when we had a public hearing some months back, and this is the information that came back from the public hearing. All this information, and from people that actually filled out I think there was a questionnaire online that people filled out. And it's pretty interesting, if you look at some of the questions that were asked, for example, is why is Pearsall home? What you'll find is most of them on that, I would say it's close to the family. So you start, as we start looking at this analysis and this data, you start looking to see, why people are staying here, what they wanna see, what they don't wanna see. Now, again, these are people that participated in the survey and that attended. So you'll find that in this, in some of the things that they, hopefully, the council can make happen. They talk about, just different things. I'm not gonna go into all the questions, but you can find there what priorities are, what people would like to see, age groups. But again, just as important is this information here, because we need this information to be able to make, clear. TxDOT basically says, we wanna know why it is you feel you need what you need. Give us a reason why. So you have here, you have traffic counts on these maps. There's been other analysis that's been done. So anyway, regarding the questions regarding subdivisions, plats, all that stuff, part of the comprehensive plan is also reworking subdivision regulations and our zoning regulations and our maps. So as Julian mentioned, one of the things we're gonna look at is doing an overhaul of the zoning ordinance and subdivision regulations and the zoning map. The zoning map is updated. I say it's hit or miss with the zoning map, in my opinion. But those will all be things that we updated, where we classify homes, classify uses. So you have your R1 zone, your R2, kind of what Julian's alluding to. That'll all be included in the comprehensive plan for your consideration. So anyway, there's a lot to it. I don't want to take too much more time, but that's the extent of what's going on. But and the importance of that is this committee, the citizen, what is it, Crystal?
Citizen Advisory.
Citizen Advisory Committee. That group is going to be critical. Them and the planning and zoning to review this information, help with recommendations. So we need to convene that group. How many we're missing, Crystal?
I can't give you a number.
We're gonna try to convene with them. If we can make forum, we'll convene with Citizens as an action group this month to go over this information and then start working on recommendations. But this is the only piece of what I have so far as the comprehensive plan. So, thank you.
Good. Anybody else?
Yes, questions? On the survey, how many, there were 65 participants? Right?
Yes, sir.
Is there any demographics on those participants?
Yes, sir. It's on page, it is, I know I saw that. That is
I think page
question number,
number 20. How old are you?
I think it's age, and I want to say there's gender. Yeah, age, and then, well, it references age. Sorry, I don't know that it has gender. But most of the participants, 35 to 44 seems like they were pretty active for the shows.
Okay, anything else?
I do have one announcement. I was contacted by Carlos Segura, the elections administrator. Council approved county taking over the elections this year. He did advise that early voting dates will be April 25th through May 3rd, 8 to 5 p.m. However, Saturday, April 30th will be the one day that he will have 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The state is no longer requiring for municipalities to hold a 12-hour day. So he's opting to go ahead and offer one though. That's it.
Council, I have two things. We have established a emergency preparedness group that we've been talking, had a couple of meetings, and they're very well attended. Hospital, school, county, city, and just so that you know, we're planning a disaster. And the disaster will be April 28th. It'll be involving AEP, be involving the Union Pacific and train, Air Life, hospitals. There'll be a train incident, and there'll be some injuries and a toxic spill. So we're going to get a chance to kind of run through that. I'm excited about all the teams coming together, kind of learn on that. The other thing too, just kind of FYI, we're having a crime summit this week. It'll be Thursday at 10 o'clock. It is going to be at the conference center of the courthouse, right to the east courthouse. Council members, we can't have a majority there, so I'm gonna send out a text probably in the morning or sometime tomorrow to the council. You're welcome to come, but you need to let me know if you're coming, because we can't have any more than 4 members come. But anyway, there'll be a report on that, bringing lots of people together, and the objective is to see what can we do to work together to reduce crime, communication, unity, removing barriers, yada, yada, yada. So excited about that. Our police chief is gonna speak. You guys wanna, we're proud of him, and things he did. We've got a few other people speaking, but anyway, that's all that I've got. Does anybody else have anything?
I do, real quick, on that, Chief, is our school officers, are they gonna be invited to that? I think they need to be.
Yes, they are.
We invited, outside resources, like Women's Coalition, groups, Safer Paths from Pleasanton, Sheriff's Department, constables, Justice of the Peace, Assistant District Attorney, DA, everybody's been invited,
Perfect.
and more.
Okay,
Mental health, mental retardation,
Okay.
big issues, yeah.
good.
So excited about that.
Thank you, sir, for putting it together.
No, it's actually something the county judge started at the beginning of the year. We're just following it through, make sure we continue it, thanks to the mayor.
Appreciate it, though.
Yeah, excited about it. So if you can, come, please do. Again, I'll send it out in a text, let me know, because we gotta stop it at 4, because we can't have 5. All right, anybody, anything? Great. Jackie?
Game over.
All right, are you ready to adjourn? She says she's ready, so we'll go for a vote. All in favor? We have a motion by Councilwoman Hernandez, a second by Councilwoman Talamantes. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye, motion to adjourn. That's close to a record.
Crystal.
Yes, sir.
1 hour.